My brother blew through our parents' retirement because he thinks he deserves it.
He worked really hard.
So, my older brother was always spoiled with a T by my parents. Not because they wanted to treat him special, but because I was always the quiet one and never spoke up when I wanted something.
You could have got more things if you did, man.
Yeah, sort of like hindsight 2020, huh? That would almost always result in us getting or doing whatever my brother wanted.
Because he was the one that voiced what he wanted to do.
Yeah, that's how that works. Unfortunately, this gave him a sense of entitlement a mile wide. America spotted, this is not a European story. When he was a teenager, he had some struggles with mental health. These were absolutely legitimate and made everyday life debilitating for him for years. My parents wanted the absolute best for him and so paid for private. I'm not American, so we have a public system with the option of private care if you can or wish to pay.
Canadian.
They use miles in Canada?
Sometimes, yeah.
Canadian mile. Oh, look at the syrup.
The Canadian mile is exactly the same as the American mile, but you just have to say sorry after every mile that you travel.
Fair.
Psychiatrists and psychologists, they got the best they could find for him. My dad had a good job, and at this time in our lives, money was not a huge concern. This seemed to be helping, and at around the time when I was set to go off to university in a different city, my brother, with the support of his care team, decided to start his tertiary education at the same time in the same city as me.
Oh.
He's got 3 educations?
Oh, I thought tertiary was a fun way to say temporary.
No, it means, it literally means third. I actually just learned that like last year. I just thought it meant extra.
When you turn 30.
How's your shoulder? There was no university in my hometown, and several of the best universities in my country are all in one big city. This made the living arrangements for my parents much simpler as they helped pay for our rent, because we lived together.
Oh, no.
And we paid for everything else. I mean, where's the problem at?
OP is trying to get new experiences in his life, and now his brother's living with him. And I don't think OP wanted that, and he doesn't have a backbone to say anything. Anyway, that's my thought. He didn't want this.
I mean, that is true. He might not have wanted it. I don't see how that's bad, though, because it's like you guys can have 2 different experiences, even though you're living together.
We'll see what it is.
They agreed to support us through university, and then we'd be on our own. By the way, this comes from Terrific Moose, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Dakota.
I'm the coldest version of Dakota, but you are Dakota. I see you. We're going to read this story, and we're going to have thoughts, and we'll say them. And if you have thoughts, you can't say them, and because we can't hear them. So you have to type them in the comments, and then we can see what you're thinking.
Fair.
And OP says, my brother had a small episode on the day that he was set to start his classes and didn't go.
Aw.
This resulted in him being removed from his program. It was a compulsory first day.
What does that mean?
I guess it means you have to be there on day 1.
Oh.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. If he's like super mentally unstable, I don't want to live there. I forgot about that.
Now you've arrived.
I forgot that he was super mentally unstable.
What train were you on?
I just forgot. I forgot he was mentally unstable.
He had his care team said that this was the best case scenario, and now he has to live with his brother.
Yeah, I think that was just so crazy that someone had a care team that it kind of like fried my brain a little bit, and I like forgot. But yeah, you have a whole team? You have a whole team of people to care for you?
Yeah, and guess who's going to have to carry that load? You. Be a care team.
Well, he could try again at the start of the next semester, halfway through the year. A major setback, but hardly limiting. The logical thing would be for him to move back home until he could start again. His student loan stopped once he was removed from the program, so he had no money to live away from home.
Oh.
And I should get a flatmate for the place I was staying. My brother didn't like this idea. I should note that my brother hated living at home. He thought our house was too small and our neighborhood was too poor looking. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Dude. Too many potholes in my neighborhood. Not everyone has a BMW in their driveway.
Ay. I don't even know how to respond to that. It's like, bro, fix your own problems before you start levying shame at the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You decided you're not going to school today, and now you got to wait 6 months to do it again. I don't care what kind of issues you have. It's still on you. It's still on you.
I don't think he gets it. His parents did not set him up for success. They tried to with the care team, but I don't know. The mindset.
It did not work.
The
Maybe.
Hey guys, we're getting back to the stories here in just a second, but I have a huge problem. I just bought these 2 shrimp and they look so bored in my cage. I don't know what to do. I have to entertain them.
Well, I've got a solution. You take your caged shrimp and you bring them to the OK Storytime live show.
What? There's a live show?
That's right. The OK Storytime live show is happening Saturday, September 26th, and it's our second ever live show. OK Storytime Live!
I'm the ugliest person in the entire world.
Oh, so this is exclusive head.
How fun.
Mm-hmm. Early bird tickets are available for you and all of your shrimp for $10 until August 26th.
Oh, just go to okop.show to get your tickets now.
Do it. You and your shrimp. We were in a middle-class family who lived in a nice house that my dad built. Your dad built the house, and he said that?
Dude, he's entitlement. He designed the kitchen and the flooring plans.
I mean, how often do you really get the chance to be like, I built this house from the ground up?
1 in 5 people that I know.
Whoa. God, I gotta start building houses.
In the South, not around here.
Yeah, should we just buy like a piece of like BLM land and build like a little structure on it?
Only about 50 to
The
60,000
Bureau of
people
Land Management.
complete the construction of their own homes annually in the U.S.
60,000?
50 to 60,000 people.
Wow.
Holy cow.
I think a lot of those people might be lying to you.
I do too.
Well, actually, no. If it's per year, then year over year, it could stack up. Anyway.
Being...
People in their 30s are less likely to get married and have their own home.
What is
I
that?
have a graph. I have a graph for that.
Oh, man.
That's a separate thing.
I thought it was the same thing. I thought we were on the same idea. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
I'm
I'm sorry.
never
I will
gonna-
do that again. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I'm never going to own a home. I'm just going to dig a hole.
Yes!
Just going to dig a hole and live in the hole.
All right.
The house just so happened to be in a low-income area because when he built it, he was not as financially secure as he was later in life. It was an awesome neighborhood with a good sense of community, and I loved it there. But again, my brother had a huge sense of entitlement and thought he deserved to live somewhere better.
Of course he should. Don't put that poor child in a house that his father made. How dare you?
I want to live in the uptown funk with Bruno Mars. Next thing I know, the new psychologist he's seeing in our new city has written a letter to my parents saying that an opportunity to immerse himself in this new city will allow him to more easily transition to study.
And work with me. Oh, he
Yeah.
did put that in there, did he?
Yeah. And by the way, he'll still be going to me every week. Oh, and he was not well enough to work either. Bro, then you gotta go home. What are you talking about?
Bro.
He should focus on getting used to his new surroundings. Was he a cat? My parents wanting what is best for my brother. Allow him to stay living with me and give him an allowance which is equal to what his loans would have given him.
No. No. Dude, you were eliminating the possibility that actions have consequences. And consequences is a neutral term. OP, he is getting the consequence of living by himself, and it's working out great for him.
Yeah.
But now this guy? What? This is so weird. Don't intervene.
Yeah, you're just kind of teaching him like that the more mentally ill you are, the better off you're going to be and the easier it's going to be for you. Because you can do anything, and as long as your psychiatrist tells us something, we'll just do it. So that's probably not a great system.
Oh my gosh. This is wild. Okay. But things will turn around, right?
Yeah, so great, everyone's happy. Yay! Not my entitled brother, though. Words.
I'm waiting until you start reading.
I did start reading, and you were.
You said not my entire. Oh, I thought
You were
that
looking
was a
on your
comment.
phone.
Yeah, I thought it was a
I
comment.
thought it was too.
Come on, man.
You
It's
said
all
not
good.
my
Keep reading.
entitled brother,
Keep reading. We're good. We're doing great.
You said not. That is not even the word.
You did a good job. I didn't think you were
bro.
reading.
Yeah.
I thought it was just you, bro.
Yeah,
You did a great job.
What are you talking about?
Be more concise with your reading voice, okay?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
How dare you?
So everyone
You
was
weren't using
happy.
your reading voice.
Yeah, you were using your
I'm
commenting
just gonna start
voice.
reading like this.
Everyone was happy except for my brother.
Great, so everybody's happy, right?
See, that still sounds like a comment.
Not my entitled brother. The allowance he was getting wasn't enough for him. You see, he wasn't a student, so he didn't feel like he had to live a student lifestyle. He wanted to eat steak and lamb for dinner.
No. That's a part of the student lifestyle. Is getting to. That's a part of being a young man. Is living off ramen and peanut butter sandwiches.
Not for him. He needs that steak and lamb life. Steak and lamb. You know what they say, like the fat of the lamb. I'm living off the fat of the lamb. Okay, he wanted new clothes every few weeks, a new iPhone when it came out, a new MacBook because his was slow.
Mm-hmm.
Again, my parents decided to get him some new goodies every now and then to keep him happy, and they also upped his allowance again. After a few months, he was getting more than twice as much per week as a student loan would give. Because I was buying groceries most weeks, he had almost no ongoing expenses once utilities were paid. Second semester rolls around, my brother hasn't even bothered enrolling.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm living the sweet life, dude. Call me Zach and Cody.
Wait, my sweet life is rolling out.
On deck.
And that's on deck, bro. His psychologist, who he sees weekly, by the way, again out of my parents' pocket.
I knew it. I called it.
Yes, you did. Wrote another letter, and this dragged on again and again. Fast forward 3 years.
You got 3 years out of this?
There's no way.
Dude.
There's no way it's the same, right? It's got to be like, this has got to be like, okay, now we're fast forwarding 3 years and it's different, right? Let's find out. Okay.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
a better person. He works on his own.
Yeah. So fast forward 3 years. And I am getting set to graduate while my brother is still not working or studying while living in an apartment paid for by my parents.
Oh.
At least he's not living with you.
Fair. He lives in a way better place.
Yeah, he's living the sweet life. I get a decent job in my field at the university I studied at, and so I keep living in the apartment, except now I pay for half the rent as well as half the other expenses.
Keep going. I don't know.
Wait, so you do still live with your brother?
I think they do still live together because he said after utilities, OP buys the groceries.
Yeah, but but now he pays half the rent.
Wait, bring him back. Bring him
I
back.
don't. What?
Sweet life.
They're
so small.
They're so smackable. Sorry, just a joke. Mr. Mosby had great patience.
Update. Ma, meatloaf. Ma, cookies and cream milkshake now.
By this point, my parents are just paying for my brother's half of the bills directly while still giving him an allowance that was close to my salary.
Oh.
Can you maybe start telling your parents that you're mentally ill? And then they'll also just throw money at you?
Dude, there's not going to be anything left for you in the inheritance.
Yeah.
Your brother's soaking this all
That's
up.
why you got to take it now. You got to be like, Mom, I just saw a psychiatrist, and he said the only thing that is going to keep me employed is $20,000 a month from you guys. I told him everything, and that's what he said.
And he gets half.
This is what you need to do to your brother. Because he's spoiled. Got to turn him into a hamster, and then maybe he'll learn.
And then he'll have a redemption arc.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is that the Spirit Away?
Mm.
Dude, that scared me as a kid.
Getting turned into the mouse.
They're pigs! Ah!
Oh, yeah, no, the pig people, that was really scary.
Like your parents are pigs and you can't do anything about it?
Yeah, it's
That's terrifying.
It is terrifying. I have been getting increasingly annoyed by all this as my parents don't want him living on his own due to his illness, but he is refusing to come home with the support of his psychologist. Guy just loves getting paid. I suggest sending him for a second opinion, but he again refused, and my parents respect his wishes. So far, not much begging going on, right? And this is where it really gets wild.
Whoa. This is even the worst part.
Oh my God. This is crazy,
Wait, how far
dude.
are we in?
We're like barely halfway.
No!
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
After I had been working for about 1.5 years, our landlord decides that he wants to sell our apartment.
What?
Okay.
Fair.
Whatever.
guess.
You gotta take the good with the bad. Where's
Baba
the
ganoush.
good? Where's the good?
In the baba ganoush.
Eggplant. Okay. This happens. We start looking around for a new place. My brother goes completely off the entitlement deep end when we are apartment hunting. He refused to look at anything that wasn't well outside of our given budget.
Of course.
And is that not when we go, okay, brother, have a good time finding your own apartment. Goodbye.
Fair, yeah, honestly.
I'm not a part of your care team. I'm just your brother. I also went to school for 4 years and have a job now. And you've done nothing. Anything inside of our budget is too small or too old or too dark or too ugly. He wants a modern new apartment in the heart of the city in one of the most expensive suburbs. His psychologist writes another letter outlining the importance of a comfortable environment for him.
Oh my gosh. Bro.
I want to like smack this psychiatrist in the face, bro. This is crazy. My parents cave, but I can't afford half of the new rent. They compromise with me, and I only have to pay the same rent as I was before, which is barely a third of the rent at the new place, mind you. I wanted to get my own place at this point. I am mid-20s with a serious girlfriend who I intend to marry one day. I want to start my own life without my brother attached to me, but my parents beg me to stay for just 1 year. It is a beautiful apartment, and I can still save while staying there, so why not? I wasn't happy, but I could live with it.
Yikes.
Unfortunately, my brother is now used to getting everything he wants or needs. He starts asking me to pay for more and more of the groceries.
What?
Idiot me, thinking that mom and dad had cut down on his allowance now that the rent is so expensive, agreed to take up some of the slack.
No.
Wait, hey, so what are you doing though, bro? What? Why are you not having like a sit down with him?
Yeah.
And being like, okay, you want me to buy more groceries? Why?
Well, I think Opie still has that. I'm mild. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to step up.
Dude's mild Morales.
Yeah, I don't think he's wanting to say anything because he's just been doing life this whole time.
Instead of going, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. He goes, yeah, okay. We'll do whatever.
Yikes, dude. You both need to find other things and get out of there.
Oh, I made a big mistake. They were still giving him the same amount. He just wanted more. He starts asking me for more and more things and then whines to mom when I don't give it to him. My parents cave over and over again and get him whatever he wants. New computer, new MacBook, new iPhone, even a car.
No way.
Don't you like live in the middle of the
city?
Whatever, dude.
He still needs to get around, Dakota. He still needs to get around comfortably in his environment.
Bro, if you're so like be spooked by your environment, you shouldn't drive a car around. What if you drive it to an environment you're unfamiliar with and you lose your mind?
That's why he has a car. Because it's an environment within an environment, okay? Look, bubble and then big bubble. It's a micro environment. He needs his micro environment.
He's got his own little built-in biome.
Yes, it's his
biome.
BMW biome.
Hey, this is just Jake Gyllenhaal, Bubble Boy.
This is really what it is.
Oh, I didn't realize this was Jake Gyllenhaal the whole time.
Dakota, I just wanted. That's exactly what I looked up.
That is so funny.
Oh,
Nice.
That's wild. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He's just pulling this off.
yeah, dude. He's just literally robbing his parents. It's crazy.
I've seen this happen before in my own family. Not like my immediate family, but my cousins.
Yeah, dude. There's a whole like field of study now dedicated to understanding like when like leaning into mental illness as your identity like starts to become like the Ouroboros, where it's like it starts eating itself. And now instead of getting better, you're just focused on staying in a place where you can stay like not getting better because it allows, you know, because you can get stuff out of it like this. Or even like beyond that, you get like social, you know, currency and stuff. It's like a whole disorder in and of itself.
Whoa.
Up until this point, my parents could afford everything, especially with me helping out where I can. I was still saving for a house. I wasn't willing to throw away my future for my brother's present comfort. So you were paying your parents so they could pay your brother? Oh my God.
No, he was just like chipping in more. He was just chipping in more, like getting more groceries, getting whatever the brother wanted, and then the parents picked up that slack.
This is driving me actually insane.
I can tell.
This is making.
You're doing great.
I'm glad I am an only child.
You're doing great, dude.
My dad had a good job and they were saving well for retirement. They were honest with me about their finances, as I would eventually be the one who got power of attorney when the time came.
Oh, no.
Oh, they're not going to just give... What if your brother complains about that?
Please don't.
Mom, I want power of attorney. I need it to be comfortable.
I think I have power of attorney over my brother. Oh, also, recently, something fun you can do. Whenever you pass away, you can give your Instagram info to someone. And there's a setting in Instagram where you can, like, send it to someone. I gave it to Tate.
Crazy.
If I passed away, he gets access to it, and he can, like, you know, do whatever he's got to do.
He gets access to Smiley Riley MP4.
Mm-hmm. Riley Wilson MP4.
With a blue check now.
With the blue check.
With a blue check.
Dude, that thing does wonders. It really does.
A lot of doors.
I reached out to 3 people, and they responded.
Because you're blue. Abba-dee-abba-die. My mom is a pragmatic woman about that sort of thing, even if she has trouble saying no to my brother. But then my dad stopped getting paid. He has an unusual job and works in a remote location away from home, secret agent. And while he was stationed away, the company he was working for just vanished, with the owner leaving the country.
Okay, he was getting paid well to support his son to just live his own career. What was he doing? Was this like stocks or something? It's gotta be.
Secret agent.
Stationed away. He's used the word stationed
CIA, dude.
away. And then
John
they just
Kiriakou,
vanished.
bro. Think of all the stuff John Kiriakou was saying.
See, the funny
CIA
thing about
shell company disappears overnight.
See, the funny thing about Russians is John Kiriakou.
Johnny K. Now my dad can't leave his post until he's relieved. It was an important job and there were legal ramifications for leaving his post unattended. CIA. So he was stuck there with no pay coming in. This resulted in him essentially losing his job and going months without being able to look for new work. Really messed him up for a while. He was only a few years away from retirement, so he decided it was time to just enjoy life. My brother lost his mind. He raged for days on end that Dad betrayed him by not continuing to work. He would yell at Mom over the phone saying that they had better keep supporting him because he deserves the lifestyle that he has earned.
Oh my gosh.
By going to therapy. I earned this lifestyle. By going to a greedy psychiatrist. There's no real way that an actual good psychiatrist would look at this guy, be like, whatever he's doing, it's making him better. He's getting better.
If he's getting paid probably upwards to $2,000 to $3,000 off a month off of one client, of course he's going to say whatever he can to keep him.
I'd like to think that the people's desire to do good in that field transcends greed.
New big city, new big mental illness guy, big money. How much money, Sophia, do you think these parents were shelling out for this kid?
Over a year? What's
Just
my
monthly.
metric?
I think $10,000 to $11,000 a year.
Yeah, if they're
Or
doing
no,
$2,000
a
a month for the therapy?
Yeah.
Probably.
I think probably $10,000 to $11,000 a month.
Yeah, that could be.
And the dad couldn't leave his station unattended while getting not paid. You know how serious that job is?
CIA, dude.
Dad probably got paid upwards to $50,000 to $60,000 a month.
I mean,
This is wild. This is crazy. What is happening? This guy's gonna
melt.
spiral. This guy's about to spiral.
This guy's gonna lose his atomic bonds.
At least he has his BMW environment.
I remember him saying that he earned that very vividly because I laughed hysterically at it, which turned into a huge fight. Knowing that my parents couldn't afford that rent without Dad working, I decided to move into my own place to try and force a resolution. I end up finding a nice place of my own that my girlfriend and I move into. My brother, however, refuses to leave.
No. I just read the next line. No.
He, again, gets a psychologist's letter to try and convince my parents to let him stay.
Oh my! Is he the psychologist? Is this guy even real?
Maybe just another one. He just like, once one of them starts going, hey, maybe we need a new strategy, he goes, fired. Dude. My other psychiatrist is bullying me.
I could make myself look so insane that I'd have every room in this house with this psychiatrist. I'd be like, Sophia, you need to leave. This is my house now.
I have a psychiatrist order that says you have to leave, and I get to live in your room.
I've been on enough videos. Every camera out. I deserve this. Get me out. They just have to see one clip of me staying late at night with Purple Trader torturing me.
Not to mention the cherry on top of that is that imagine you get to pull all of that while also you never worked here a day in your life. From like the moment you came out here to work here, you missed your first day of work and then did nothing.
Give me that
and
psychiatrist.
You still got to live in the house.
Give me that psychiatrist right now.
Oh my God.
That is crazy. What is happening?
My brother even has his boyfriend, who's a really nice guy, but a struggling artist working on commission, offered to move in with him.
Bro, great. He needs to sell 100 pieces of art to make rent.
Yeah, maybe if he makes them really small, maybe he can pull that one off.
Even if they're big.
He makes micro art.
He's a struggling artist. I'm not saying anything's bad with that.
Because that's his boyfriend, though.
I know, but that's not a smart financial move. But this whole story isn't a smart financial move. What am I talking about?
True.
He has a boyfriend now? How? Because he spoils him.
Yeah, because he's probably just using all the money his parents give him to take this guy out on like.
Is he steak and lamb? Here, have a lamb.
Steak.
Have a steak.
Here's a full lamb. Oh my God. Next thing I know, he is still living in the ridiculously expensive apartment with his boyfriend, struggling to help cover when he is able. I move on with my life, fall mostly out of contact with my brother, and start my own adult life properly.
Let's go.
I get married and settle down. Skipped right over that. 5 years go by, and when I'm visiting my parents one day, my mom breaks down. It turns out that my brother had spent the next several years after I moved out refusing to reduce his spending or get a job or move home or anything. He would constantly blackmail my parents, saying that they would make their son homeless if they didn't give him free money. He had been doing that for years without my knowledge.
Oh, dude.
Bro,
It's your older brother.
I'd like to be able to say as the parents, I would call that bluff. But that's part of why I fear being a parent, is because I'm afraid my kids could get me to give them anything.
Yeah, because like imagine you get a psychologist letter and they're like, you have to give them this BMW car.
I
Or-
mean, they could just look at me sad, and I'd probably be like, all right, we can do that.
They can look at me sad up until they turn 5, and then after that, they're a working child. They have to
They're
work for it
working.
at that point.
Start shoveling that sawdust.
Yep. That's how it works. Go put up the firewood, get an allowance, work for it yourself.
Yikes. I mean, not to that, but just this whole situation.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully it wasn't to that.
No,
That was
no.
good. Okay. It builds
Child
character.
labor builds character. As long as you're not getting paid for it, it's not illegal.
Yeah, I got paid for it. It was great.
And my parents didn't know what to do. His very expensive medical team was condoning his behavior. My parents had burned through almost 2 decades worth of their retirement savings trying to support my out-of-control brother. I decided to visit this psychologist myself, only to find out she is one of those tell people what they want to hear so they keep giving me money.
I knew it!
Yeah, predatory. This is a shame. Shame on anybody who does that.
Well, they're getting their bag. They got to pay off their student loans.
It's like being a predatory surgeon. Like, imagine like you're like trying to fix someone's gallbladder and you're like, oops, I cut out your liver. You're going to have to pay for that too.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But with the brain, with the mind.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm just going to make your problems so bad that you'll never get out of them and you'll have to pay me forever. Or you just become homeless and you're not my problem anymore. A predatory psychologist who was enabling my brother because he was a cash cow for her. Our entire family was furious. Turns out my brother had been recovered since his first year living away from home.
Oh.
He was perfectly able to work or study. He just didn't want to. And so she wrote him those bogus letters to let him get away with it. Is that prosecutable?
Perhaps.
I'll prosecute you, though, if you don't listen to full episodes of stories just like this. On your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to podcasts, all you have to do, search OK Storytime.
It's like a Hallmark horror movie. I could totally see this happening in a scary Hallmark Christmas movie.
This is, yeah, the scary Hallmark Christmas.
OP has a lover and he wants to move out, but his evil brother and the predatory
Snowman.
psychologist is taking all the money away from that. I could see it happening. We can write a
And
screenplay.
also, they hate Christmas.
Yes. Key component.
Yes, it was once he accepted the spirit of Christmas into his heart that he became a good boy.
Hallmark, hire us. I have the team to write it and the team to act it out. I call the artist boyfriend, and Keon has to be the boyfriend.
Hell yeah.
I can finally live out my hot male fantasy.
Hot boy. It's a hot boy summer. It's a hot boy summer. I honestly don't have any advice other than let this guy be homeless.
I think that would build character for him.
Yeah.
And he would able to work on the street, giving out whatever he can for money. No, but then he'd become a prostitute.
You cut that boy off and he does whatever he's got to do to figure it out. I don't care anymore. I'm, you know.
Dude, I talked to someone whose friend is about to come homeless soon. I was like, wow, that's crazy. You know someone that's about to become homeless?
Is it just planning?
No, it's just that their life's not working out and it's like looking not good for them.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
Mm.
The guy, like, he had, I don't know, you always have choices before it becomes homelessness for that guy. Not everyone. Okay, now I'm getting to a homeless thing. But he just wasn't making the best choices in life, and this is what his results are. Like this guy. What are we doing? You were healed after the first year?
Who said that? The psychologist? What are we talking about? It's crazy. He decided to milk my parents of their savings to fund his lifestyle because he had earned it. When confronted about it, he was entirely unapologetic. He's now cut off completely and works for a retailer, complaining about my parents' lack of respect for him on Facebook every few days. I again want to emphasize my brother had legitimate mental health issues. I do not want to take away from that. He just chose to willfully deceive everyone about the severity in order to demand that everyone else give him the life he feels he deserves. And no, his mental illness would have in no way contributed to that attitude. It was not that sort of illness. He's just an entitled little boy. And that is the end of that story.
Holy freaking shit. God, that is done.
I mean, dude, like I was saying earlier, he would be in a case study on this thing that they're trying to like tag down as like a, syndrome or condition or whatever.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I feel like the result of that is just our phones. Too much information. My kids won't see a screen until they're 18.
No screen till you're 18?
Nope. My friend's mother tried to steal my iPad because she thinks my art is inappropriate.
It is inappropriate. I've seen it.
I'm a female, and I just turned 18, and I'm new to Reddit. I live with my adoptive parents, and they are the sweetest people you'll ever know. For my birthday, my granddad got me an iPad, an Apple Pen, and a drawing app I had been asking for. That's what I got my girlfriend for her birthday.
No way, dude. Is this your story?
Someone said in the comments earlier, Riley just writes all of the stories.
Where would I have the time to do that?
You built an agent to do that.
Oh, write me a story that will make me very pissed off. Go.
Yes. Write me a story that will make me go, ow, what? At least 15 times.
I love doing digital art, and I was definitely ecstatic when I got it. My mom was so excited for me and took me shopping to get a case and stickers to decorate it with. The friend in question I will call Alyssa. Is that right?
I don't like how it's spelled.
Me neither. That should be a Y.
It's like Alisa.
Isn't that should be a Y, right?
Yeah. Alisa.
Multiple. No, there are wrong ways, Sophia. You can spell a name the wrong way.
Well, technically, Lisa spelled Lissa. His way goes way back, all the way to like Greek mythology. I think Lisa was the god of chaos.
People spell Dakota with a K.
I have seen it spelled with a C, though, and that always pisses me off.
Kakota?
Dacota. Hate that.
She is the nicest person I've ever met. All right, we'll let her have the name. She's my close.
Lisa with an Y.
Oh, that's the Greek chaos god?
Says Lyssa. Also spelled Lissa, actually. Or Lita.
It's also what the rabies virus is.
She is the nicest person I've ever met. We'll let her keep the name. She's my closest friend, and I don't blame her for what had happened. I'd gladly take a bullet for her any day. Alyssa is also 18. The person who I can't despise is her witch of a mother. I'll call her Karen, because why not? Karen is 38. The son she wanted to give my iPad to, I'll just call Barley.
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 Wheat and barley.
Barley is 10 years old. Karen is a single mom and has made it the base of her personality. She runs a failing mom blog and used to post parenting videos. Oddly, she believes in vaccination and doesn't think the earth is flat. So she doesn't make money?
So she's
failing?
Well, I mean, she's not a huckster. That maybe. Or
Hey,
maybe she's
you
just
were
bad
talking about
at
my people now.
it. Yeah, you just, sell the wrong ideas to impressionable people.
She is still a very spiritual person and believes heavily in karma and creativity. She homeschools Barley and doesn't teach him how to read or write, just teaches him about karma and things of that nature.
It's like, I'm not going to teach you anything about science or geometry, but you are going to learn a lot about revenge.
If you want to read a sign, hug the tree that is holding the sign and it'll whisper it to you.
She's just like, if there's one thing Buddhism taught me, it's that there's only one thing you need to do in life, and it's sit underneath a tree and do nothing else.
By the way, this comes from Maple Taffy Slush. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I am Riley.
I'm Riley.
I'm Riley.
And us Riley's going to read this story goofily. And if you are a Riley, you can comment down below. Only Riley's. Yesterday, Karen came over to drop off Alyssa so we could hang out and have a girls' day. My mom invited Karen in for coffee and let Barley have control of the TV remote.
No.
Don't give the remote to Barley. No!
The nature child?
He's gonna put on National Geographic.
The turtles! No! Oh, God. Oh, the turtles.
But he only
Imagine.
watches the episodes where like a lion is stalking its prey, and he's like, "This is the only education I need."
You just put on like Caillou, and he's like, "What is this? What are words?"
He starts watching Dora. He's like,
He just turns him Spanish.
Hola.
Barley, we don't know what he says. He found Dora the Explorer, and now he just speaks Spanish. We don't know how to speak it.
He learned how to read and write. I immediately showed Alyssa my tablet, and we both started acting like idiots and talking about color palettes. Barley didn't seem to care, but I caught Karen looking at us weirdly from the kitchen. I ignored it because I figured she was just watching Barley.
I'm just imagining Barley sitting there just empty, and Barley didn't seem to care.
Huh.
Honestly, that was how I was when I went over to my friends' houses because I didn't have a TV growing up. I would just sit in front of their TVs and go.
You do that today still with your phone.
It's because I wasn't allowed to have it.
This is everyone watching right now. They look like Dakota.
Comment below how you're watching this.
A few hours went past and it started to rain. It wasn't just a drizzle, it was a downpour, and there would have been no way Karen could drive home safe. My mom told Karen that she and Barley could stay in the guest bedroom and Alyssa and I could sleep in my dad's game room. It was a pull-out couch facing the TV, so we were fine. Barley whined that he wanted to see the game room, but my dad has a rule that no one under 16 is allowed in, as he has some scary games and concept art littered around everywhere in there. Fair. I'll give him that. Karen protested lightly, but my mom shut her down and she dropped it. I like this mom.
I mean, Mom's on the right page.
Barley had a full meltdown, so Alyssa and I went to draw in the crafting room, probably because he hasn't touched a tree in like a few hours in the basement. I decided to show Alyssa some of my more scary drawings and pulled out a picture of a werewolf I had drawn. It wasn't gory or bloody, but it was scary, and I didn't want to have it pulled up in case my mom saw it. Alyssa and I love scary things, so we decided to make a piece together. We put on a 5-minute timer, and each of us took turns drawing. Oh, that you know about that? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that called?
One person draws for 5 minutes on a timer, and then you give it to the other person, and they draw again for another 5 minutes.
It's like
That's what it's called.
it has a
Really
name.
long name. Working on the title.
It has a name.
What is this art concept called, everyone?
I don't know. I'm gonna call it screen sharing.
When we were done, we had drawn a vampire biting into a girl's neck.
Ooh, oh my God, Mr. Vampire.
These girls are so 18. We made it a bit scary and drew the vampire clawing at her arm. We printed the picture and hung it up so we could decide a color palette. But in the middle of selecting paints, we heard the door open. We had it locked, but it was one of those crappy hook locks, so all it took was a few shakes.
Oh,
Yes, Ferratu.
forsooth.
Barley
Ooh.
came down the stairs, and at first he didn't notice the printed paper. Alyssa told him to leave, but he ignored her and went to try and grab my mother's colored pencils. We stopped him, and while we were dragging him towards the stairs, he saw the picture hanging on the corkboard. I didn't know something so small could make a sound so loud. He screamed his lungs out and bit Alyssa's hand, so she would have to let him go.
Who is this feral child?
That's what I'm saying.
He's a feral child that knows absolutely nothing other than vengeance.
He's Donnie, but like
Donnie Darko?
woohoo. No.
Oh.
Donnie from
He's the wild thornberries. He's
Wild-
a wild boy.
Yeah. It's Donnie, woohoo Donnie. He's the woohoo version of Donnie. He can't read or write.
He just all he understands is karmic justice and
Sounds of
chakras.
and crystals. Look, Barley. This is what a crystal looks like when you're sad.
And he just starts chewing on it. She goes, "No, Barley, don't chew on that one. Chew on this one. It's much softer." And she just gives him like
Yeah, that's him.
mica,
Wait, put him back up.
talc.
That's him.
That's Flea from the Wild Thornberries.
His name's not Flea.
I mean, Flea from
that's not Flea.
that's Flea
That's
from the Red
Donnie.
Hot Chili Peppers. He's literally voiced by the bass player of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
He saw a vampire and decided to try and be one. Barley bit Alyssa. Yeah, that's what I
Sorry,
said.
we're gonna have to put Barley down. He's a biter.
Honestly, the mom might do that.
Oh my
she believes
God.
in vaccines. He bolted up the stairs, and I took Alyssa to the sink to wash her hand. We had a sink installed so we could wash paintbrushes. Within seconds, Karen was down the stairs, and I heard my mom trying to calm down Barley upstairs. Karen came in, charging in, demanding to know what the heck we did to her son. Alyssa told her we didn't do anything, and I tried to explain that Barley had come down here on his own. We tried to take him upstairs, and he flipping bit Alyssa's hand. But Karen wasn't having it. She kept yelling and asking what we had shown him. At this point, we didn't even know that Barley had even seen the drawing. I told her we didn't show him anything, that he just came down here and started screaming when we moved him. Karen then told me not to lie to her, that Barley had said he saw us drawing an unalived thing. Drawing unalive?
Drawing a what?
You were drawing the dead. The drawing dead.
Alyssa figured out what she meant before I did. I know. I'm stupid. Alyssa told Karen that she meant the collab, that it wasn't an unalive.
What does that mean?
It was a vampire.
A zombie?
Oh, like a dead body.
I looked over the corkboard, finally catching on, and Karen ran over when she saw me looking at it. She ripped the paper off the tacks we had used to put it up and gave this really dramatic gasp. She put a hand over her mouth and her eyes got wide. She looked ridiculous. Karen then asked me very dramatically if my mother knew what kind of filth I had been drawing. I was dumbfounded, so I just answered honestly and told her, yeah, she did. Karen looked even more offended and noticed my iPad on the table. She announced that if I was going to be drawing such inappropriate filth, I didn't deserve it. Interesting.
This is, wait, what? That's the sound of the turbo boosters on my rocket elbow sending an uppercut straight to the jaw of this person. This is insane. I hate people that do this. You're raising a wild little idiot child. He doesn't even know how to read or write.
Dude, he knows about chakras, though.
He's biting people. And then you're
That's
not
how
even
he processes emotion.
Who are you to come down here and take my iPad away from me?
Barley needs
I
to
will
bite.
rock'em sock'em robot you.
Barley needs to bite people to understand emotion.
At 18, I bite Barley back.
I also
At
think
18, I bite that kid back. Are you serious?
No.
the craziest thing to me is that they're at OP's house. So Karen's coming into another person's house and trying to parent another person's child.
Man. I mean, I don't know. That last story of the pure entitlement, like, I don't know. If that 10-year-old little feral beast bit me and I was 18, I wouldn't do it today. But if I was a teenager, that kid would have been smacked right across the jaw.
Yeah.
Open hand. Open hand, that's legal.
I can already tell that Opie's mom is not a fan of Karen.
Yeah.
So I don't think the mom's going to do much.
Also, 10 years old, way too old to be biting somebody. That's
Dude,
like a 3-year-old behavior.
My cousin was still biting my brothers at 10. And my brother, one time he bit him and he pushed him down the stairs.
Did he ever bite him again?
He kind of stopped.
Yeah, I think he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Not
This-
advocating to do that, but, you know.
My mom was like, do whatever you got to do to make him stop. I can't do anything. This maniac picked up my tablet and was about to walk up the stairs. I snatched it away and rushed to stuff it in my pencil bag. Karen tried to grab the bag, but I pushed myself into a corner. I clutched the bag super hard and it started to scream for my mom. Mom is my mother.
What? What? No way.
Shocking twist.
Wait, so Opie's mom was her mother this whole time?
I know. I'm as shocked as you are.
I'm confused. I thought mom was just mom.
Turns out she's been mother this whole time.
Interesting. I wish she clarified earlier.
We gotta start over.
Unreliable narrator.
This 18-year-old. She rushed in asking what was wrong, telling me I didn't need to scream. She saw Karen trying to grab me and ripped her away from me. I just want to say my mom is a big lady. She is mother. She towers over my dad, who is 5'10", and she's not dainty either.
Dang, your mom's like friggin', what is that? Gina Casaro? No, didn't she lose? Ronda Rousey? Yeah.
Brienne of Tarth.
Ronda Rousey in the housey.
Cameron Brink.
Yeah, that's tall.
That is tall.
She's kind of like noodly though. Right?
She plays basketball.
Who's that? I feel like Angel Reese has got more like a sturdy build.
AJ
Maybe I'm thinking
Wilson?
of Paige Buchers.
Oh, I love her.
That's right. We know the WNBA.
Yep. What about Sue Bird?
GOAT.
Karen immediately went on a tirade about how I was corrupting her son and forcing him to look at disgusting garbage. She shoved the art into my mom's face, and she just kind of raised her eyebrows at Karen. My mom then turned to look at Alyssa and asked her if I had made her brother look at this. Alyssa told her no, that it had been hanging up and he saw it, and that we had the door locked, but he must have gotten in. I added that Barley had bit Alyssa on the hand too. Alyssa showed her the bite, and my mom sent Alyssa upstairs to get a Band-Aid from the hall closet. My mom told Karen that she didn't appreciate her behavior and asked her to take Barley and leave to the storm. It's raining. That's why they're here. Because it's really bad raining outside.
Is it?
Cats and dogs, baby.
Yeah, there it is. I was gonna say Purple Rain. And I was like, no, Prince. Not really.
Love
Not
you,
really
Prince.
feeling the Prince reference right now.
Karen looked too pissed, and I swear her face went beet red. Karen exploded, asking if my mom was kidding her, claiming that I had traumatized her baby, Barley.
He's 10 years old. Last time I checked, that's not a really baby.
No, it's... Have you ever seen a tree, Dakota? Do you know how you look at the age of a tree? It's with how many rings are on it.
Oh, let's
Barley
cut-
is only 10. He's a little twig. He's a baby tree.
We should cut Barley in
No!
half just to make sure he's actually 10.
Barley's baby! Barley's baby! God, dude.
This is Barley.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yo.
I forgot about that kid. I hate that kid. I need milk. I hate that kid so much. Oh my God.
The funniest part was seeing her fall.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry. Didn't mean to spoil it. My mom calmly told her that her son was fine, that he wasn't supposed to be down here anyways, and that the door was locked, and he must have forced it open. She said it was an honest mistake, and he would like Karen and Barley to please leave into the storm. Karen then demanded that if my mom was going to be that way, the least she could do was give her son the tablet. Was this just a con to get the tablet the whole time? She said Barley was going to need therapy and the tablet would help him express himself. Have Barley eat some freaking crystals.
I just pull out a $5 bill and I'd be like, sorry, here $5 to get the hell out of my house. $5. Take it or leave it. That's all you're getting. 5 on it. I got 5 on you getting out of my private domicile.
I don't know. I feel like Barley would be able to express himself if he could read or write.
That would probably help him. He'd learn how to express himself if he wasn't completely illiterate.
If I was the mom, I'd be like, all right, I'll give him the tablet if he can write me a letter of how he's feeling right now.
I'll give him the tablet if he can spell tablet at 10. Yeah, let's go.
All right, Barley.
He can't, but he can align all of his chakras, right?
Okay, that is pretty important. Can we? I would honestly may consider calling. Isn't this illegal? Like kids not going to school?
Yes.
Like what this kid's going to?
Like not letting your kid be illiterate and
Yeah, it is illegal.
letting them bite people.
You have to prove like that you are actually teaching your child.
Storm Kitten said if Barley needed therapy because he saw a drawing of a vampire, he's going to have much bigger problems. Yeah. Also,
He does have much bigger problems.
Also, giving him a tablet, access to more things like this is not going to help him express himself in therapy.
Yeah, what he needs is the little tablet that they've got as the villain in Toy Story 5. He needs a little leapfrog tablet to teach him his ABCs.
Oh my gosh, bro. So I feel like this is just a long con.
Yeah. And I just want to make it clear, we're not really dunking on Barley for being
I'm
illiterate.
dunking on Barley.
I'm dunking on his idiot mother who allowed him to become illiterate.
Ah, dude. She might be too.
Barley is a victim of his mother. But I'll tell you, at 18, oh my God.
3 years dog.
The handprint that kid would have had on him if he bit me when I was 18. I
gosh.
swear to God.
Dude. Child violence.
It would have been like a tattoo.
Yes, tablet over school. Hey, Ming Ming. Yeah. Holly Fraser says, my 15-year-old daughter just looks at me so sweetly, and I say yes, but she doesn't do all that crazy crap.
Yeah.
All right. My mom rolled her eyes and said, fine. She walked over, grabbed a drawing paper tablet, and handed it to Karen. Karen looked confused. Then she got angry and slammed the paper onto the ground. Karen screamed that she wanted the one in my purse, that her son needed it more than I ever would, and that if I was going to be drawing that cursed garbage, then I didn't deserve it. My mom asked what tablet I had, and I told her that Karen wanted my iPad. She looked surprised for a second, but just turned to Karen and told her to leave again. Karen was fussing and screaming, saying things about how I was disgusting and that my art was inappropriate. But my mom threatened to call the police, and she just stomped up the stairs. Alyssa said she was going to stay, and Karen dragged Barley to the car. My mom sat us down, and we went over the events. We all eventually ended up laughing, and my mom put some antibiotic ointment on Alyssa's bite just to make sure it was clean. Oh, dude, I feel so bad for Alyssa, bro.
Yeah, you don't know what is in Barley's teeth. What kind of bad jujubes are
Well, you get a lot of minerals.
swimming around in those chompers?
You'd get a lot of minerals with all the rocks he eats.
Yeah, with all the dirt he's slurping down outside. Jeez. And that's her brother. That was her mom.
Dude, what's a fun activity Barley does outside? Like roll in the dirt or...
Eats frogs.
He's really good at yoga, I feel like.
You know that kid has eaten a frog whole. Slurped it.
Like the way Jimmy Neutron, whenever Carl
Yeah.
eats that.
Carl Weezer no-handing the croissant.
The best part of the internet. Alyssa is still here, and my mom says she can stay in the guest room for as long as she wants. Before anyone asks, my dad is on a business trip and won't be back until Friday. Wait, time out. Is your dad also your father?
Don't be crazy. Her mom's already her mother. So it would be absolutely wild for her dad to be her father.
Good point. Good point. My mom is going to call him tomorrow and tell him what happened just in case Karen tries anything. If anything happens, I'll update you. If you bothered to read this, I thank you. I posted the art link below. We aren't done yet. Also, trigger warning, the art. You might have to pull it up. Dude, honestly, I feel like this was just a way for her to showcase her art. I don't feel like any of this is true now. It's just sponsoring.
An ad in
can't
disguise.
wait to tell you.
Please show me what this is. How bad was this image that Barley just screamed his lungs out?
Oh yeah,
It has to be pretty bad. Like pretty blood. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I doubt it. Imagine what Barley's been exposed to.
You ready?
Yep.
Is it the?
This!
No way.
Bring it back up! He screamed over his death!
There's no way.
What?
Wait,
I can't even tell that's a vampire
That is-
biting her.
that is what that is. I guess it makes sense. They drew it in like what, 15 minutes?
Well, they were doing like
Like 5 minutes at a
Wait,
time.
bring that back up. Great drawing. But how? It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, she's blushing.
Yeah.
Like, and she's embracing it. She's like, oh. This is what Keon does to me every morning.
vampire. No, Mrs. Vampire.
Dude, this is totally an ad. None of this really happened.
Oh.
You see how they both wrote on it, though? They both these crazy girls came up with a crazy story. Guys, I want people on Reddit to see this. We're going to come up with a very crazy story about your crazy brother.
I mean, I believe it.
You believe it?
I believe it. I
Show
believe
me.
it, and not in a bad way. I believe it in it, that it's because that art wasn't good enough to advertise. Not in a mean way, just in an honest way.
We're looking at it, man. We're looking at it.
We are, and it's a good. Keep working. Keep
I
working.
would totally put that in my bathroom.
Stay in the woodshed, bro. The wood. You got to stay in the woodshed to work on your craft.
Oh, I thought you were like making things for the vampires.
Oh, the stakes.
No.
I think we could also make that in the wood. That could be your woodshed.
So reading the comments, I found people debating things. The reason Karen stayed because of the rain is because the roads flood bad where I live. She wasn't here for hours because of coffee. She and my mom were talking while Barley was watching TV. Karen and my mom have known each other for about 2 years. They weren't exactly friends, but they chatted about stuff when me and Alyssa hung out. This was the first time they had gotten really into a deep conversation, and I'm assuming that my mom was too polite to end it. Me and Alyssa were using watercolor paint to experiment with color palettes on the printed sheet of paper. I was using red as a possible clothing color, and my mom thinks it would look like blood from a quick glance. If there's anything I should clear up, let me know. Is there another one?
All right, let's see what these lesbian vampires really look like.
Is this another one, Sophia?
No,
There's
it's
like
the
a-
same one.
Same one. Okay.
But it's completed.
No, I showed you the completed one.
Oh.
The first one was
Oh.
a sketch.
Oh, I see. Oh, wait, can we see the sketch so we see kind of what Barley was looking at?
The sketch might have been scarier.
Maybe.
I
I feel like them being, thespians makes it less scary.
Now, is Barley scared of vampires or
Thespians.
scared of gay
I think-
people?
With an L.
I don't think he's I doubt
Oh
he
no!
saw
Oh,
that.
that's really scary.
That is, yeah, I would say that's a little bit more.
I mean, it is scarier because you can't tell what's going on, and they almost look like skeletons.
I see
and-
more of the bite.
If you're a really stupid little 10-year-old named Barley, why don't we just name the other kid Wheat?
That's his middle name, Dakota.
Barley Wheat Field. That's our name.
Okay.
Sally Field is his mom.
I love Sally
And
Field.
suddenly everything she's done is right.
It's always been right.
Everything Sally Field.
Gidget?
Yeah.
I love Gidget.
Who's Gidget?
That's what Sally Field did to, like, kind of boost her career. That's her first TV show she ever did. 8 seasons.
Why do I remember? Was that Mork and Mindy?
No, that's Gidget. It's a whole different thing. It's about a girl that lives near the beach.
She was Gidget?
She was Gidget. I love Gidget. That was my first crush ever. Oh, no. Earliest crush. My first crush was my eye doctor nurse.
Mm.
She still goes to my grandparents' church. She has 2 kids now.
Keeping tabs.
Yeah. Things might change one day. I was also like 5 when I met her, and she was like in her 20s. I can maybe hit on her now. Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
Wow.
I would go back in time.
To meet Gidget?
Yeah, I'd be like, what's up? And then I'd leave.
And she'd be like, what? He was wearing really scary clothes.
I'd wear that on the t-shirt. Update, everyone. Karen called my mom this morning while me and Alyssa were eating pancakes. We didn't hear the conversation, but my mom told us that Karen said she was throwing Alyssa's stuff away because she wouldn't support her little brother.
Okay.
What is happening? My mom still says Alyssa can stay for as long as she needs in the guest room, and we're trying to figure out how to ask if she can just move in. We definitely have enough space, but supporting another person might be a different story. Since Alyssa is 18 and legal, she can move out whenever she wants. The real problem would be retrieving Alyssa's sentimental items from the house. A lot of people have told me to talk to CPS and have her investigated. Yeah, she's got a feral kid biting people that doesn't know how to read.
That is true. Even though he did bite his sister, but who's to say he won't start biting strangers?
My mom and I are planning on doing this once my dad gets home. Okay, fair. Good on you guys. Alyssa's hand is doing a lot better, but my mom is still keeping a close eye on it. She has been cleaning it and switching out eye specs every few hours. Barley didn't break the skin, thankfully, but we're still going to be careful.
Yeah, God forbid you get Barley disease.
Dude, I saw something where like a kindergarten teacher got bit by one of her students, hospitalized.
For what? Like it got infected?
Yeah, because of like what was ever in the kid's mouth got into her blood system, and like her arm was getting infected. It was like I was like,
Oh, she got like a blood infection?
it was
Yikes.
bad.
Yeah, those are really bad.
Like, that kid probably never brushed his teeth.
If you ever notice like
You just swerve away from-
inflammation that follows a vein, immediately go to the hospital. That's a legitimate piece of advice for anyone out there, because that means you're developing a blood infection and you need to go to the hospital.
Just handle it. That's what I would say.
Handle it at the hospital.
It wasn't made in the 50s, guys. Maybe it was. If anyone knows how to ask my mom to let Alyssa move in, please tell me. I want my friend to be safe, but I don't want to pressure my parents. Karen tried to call Alyssa last night, but she didn't answer the phone. Update 2. I sat down with my mom last night, and I put my dad on a Zoom call. After explaining the situation, I just flat out asked. There were a lot of different opinions that were thrown out there in the comments about how to ask. At this time, I forgot every single one of them and blurted it out. My mom told me she wasn't surprised, and my dad said that he didn't have a problem with it. Dude, W parents.
Yeah.
We haven't seen W parents at all today until now.
How did Alyssa turn out so normal and Barley is turned into...
Public school.
Yeah, but, well,
Went
I
to
guess
public
that's
school.
fair.
My mom wasn't as easy to convince because she believed that having Alyssa stay with us would bring Karen around for more drama. It was a long talk, and she told me that she could stay for a while, but to live with us is a completely different story. In the end, she agreed, but stated that Alyssa would have to get a job as she and my dad couldn't support Alyssa for the rest of her life. I'm happy to say that the guest room is now Alyssa's room, and my mom is going to let us paint it however we want this weekend.
Yay!
The sleepover that turned into living together.
Painted pink and blue.
Forever sleepover.
Get married.
What?
They could get married.
Oh, yeah, they're 18. You're right.
They could get married.
This is the happy part of the update. Oh no.
The sad part of the update is Barley finally learned how to read, and he's actually really smart. He's taking us to court.
His first book was the Communist Manifesto.
Yeah.
I thought,
Like, mother, I shall break free of my chains.
dude, he wrote Animal Farm too. As many of you kindly suggested, we got the police involved. We took a picture of Alyssa's hand, but the marks were barely visible. To the person who suggested this, you were right, as we should have taken a picture earlier. As for those asking why my mom and I kept cleaning it even though the wound wasn't open, I am an idiot and my mom was panicking. I won't lie and say I'm smart. I'm a very dumb person and I do dumb things under pressure. Anyways, you make great art though. We called the non-emergency number and my mom did most of the talking. After a while, we drove to Karen's house. It's not very big, but she has a large front yard that was full of miscellaneous items. I could totally see this.
I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, in my third eye, so to speak. I see it.
A lot of like statues, a lot of dirt, a lot of rocks out.
All for Barley's enjoyment.
It's like a stick and a rock that he plays with outside.
And then he starts eating the stick.
Barley, no, eat the rock.
I like this one. The elm. I like elm. Elm tastes good. He knows all the trees and how they taste.
Oh my gosh. She saw us pulling up and thought we were just here to drop off Alyssa, but our paid companion surprised her.
Our escort. Yeah.
This is Karen's front yard.
The white
Narnia. Narnian.
Oh my gosh. She had thrown some of Alyssa's things into the lawn, but it was mostly clothes and posters. Alyssa only picked up her scrapbook, and that's all I saw before she went inside. Karen said to me and my mom weren't allowed on her property, so we waited in the car. I heard Karen shouting, but I didn't understand what she was saying. Alyssa wasn't inside for long, and she came out with her backpack and gym bag. Karen screamed at her to never come back and to never call her again, blah, 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 blah. We drove home, and me and Alyssa kept thanking my mom. I left out a small bit of what happened for safety concerns after asking my mom, and I cut out some of the stuff we were just talking and didn't go anywhere. We unpacked some of Alyssa's personal items, and we were going to have an in-house spa day once my mom gets home from work. You guys are so adorable.
You guys are so cute.
Why is Karen your nemesis?
I don't know, but I just I wish nothing but the worst for her, you know?
And Barley to read.
Yeah, I want Barley. You know what? Barley's secretly probably a genius.
Mm-hmm.
And
he understands the spiritual aspect of this world. Wait till he understands the physical aspect.
yeah, like the words and numbers. He'll be unstoppable. He'll be unstoppable once he can finally,
He'll
form a sentence.
Yeah.
On paper, he'll be unstoppable.
He'll probably create a utopia.
And it'll be Barley as far as the eyes can see.
Wow. Dang. Karen might be onto something. There's going to be some changes in the house, and we're going to have a house meeting once my dad gets home from his trip. Karen tried to call Alyssa's phone, but she blocked her number. And we've been going through our daily routine. We share a bathroom now, so we've been cleaning up and rearranging to make space. This is the best possible outcome, and I feel like I'm living in a dream world. I know Alyssa is upset though, so I've been trying to cheer her up. As many of you also suggested, my mom is going to report Karen for a number of things to CPS. I'm not really involved in that part of the situation, but my mom said she would keep me updated. Also, your mom was friends with Karen for 2 years, and now she's calling CPS? She's known that Barley hasn't been able to read or write for 2 years? That's a little crazy.
This is Barley in my head. Can you zoom in on his little eyes? That's just how he looks around. And he's malnourished. That's why he's got bags under his eyes, because he's just eating rocks and dirt all day. He's got a little hat on.
Oh my gosh.
Little Barley.
Dude.
He's got no teeth in his mouth. They're all gone from the rocks. He's just gumming on dirt all day.
Oh, that is tough.
And somehow, some way, he's thriving.
Hey, give it up to Barley, guys. I mean, he's survived 10 years with this woman, Karen.
For Barley. He survived eating rocks, dirts, and sticks. 10 years.
I honestly am glad you didn't give him that iPad. That would ruin him. That would make him so much worse.
Yeah, that would be like...
Barley, no. You have to understand chakras and crystals.
Brain rot Barley?
And you can't read or write, but I will give you this iPad. That would literally probably ruin his life.
Yeah,
honestly. An iPad at 10?
Family Guy, brain rot compilations, and
there's still potential for Barley.
Zaboomafoo YouTube poop.
Do you think? Okay, wild conspiracy.
Mm.
Do you think OP and her mom would adopt Barley if he went into the foster care system?
No, I don't think they would do that.
That's why they take care of Alyssa, but not him.
Yeah, I don't think they would adopt.
I feel like Barley would escape and just run into the woods, like that Netflix thing from Tiki Wild. Have you seen that? Where the wild things are, but no, it's not that. You know what I'm talking about with that bigger kid from that Deadpool 2?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
What's that movie
the
called?
New
Oh.
Zealand. Yeah.
With Sam Neill,
The one we're like, I'm more like the Terminator than you are.
where the Winderwumble,
Wildebeest.
yeah,
Wildebeest are?
something of the Wildermans.
Look up Tiki Waititi.
Taiki wee titi.
He's a weird fella.
Taiki eat
Has he
Hunt
been
for
doing
the
it?
Wilder people.
Sorry?
Hunt for the Wilder people.
Hunt for the Wilder
Right.
People. That is what Barley is going to do the second he gets into CPS.
Yeah, he's gonna find a strange
But we got
man.
comments.
We do have comments. Sophia, could you read those?
Strange man, wilder man, keeping up the man of the man amazing.
We've got comments from the video. My sister banned my son from her wedding, but he made her dress. And this was posted June 3rd, 2026.
I remember this one.
too.
Great story.
This comes from the first story. OP's sister asked his 17-year-old son to make her wedding dress. The kid poured 5 whole months into it, drew 50 designs, made endless changes every time she complained, and the final dress was so beautiful it made their own grandmother cry.
Aww.
Then the wedding invitations went out to the whole family except him. The reason? His sister said no underage people allowed, even though OP's son is the only minor in the entire family. If you're curious to know the full story, you can go watch the full video. And we've got comments. Comment 1 from Moon Dancer Pony, who says, bride doesn't want her guests or fiance's family to know her dress was made by her nephew and isn't designer.
Oh,
That's a good point.
I don't think anyone thought about that while we were reading that.
No.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that could be so true. Ew, that's disgusting.
Outshine the bride by being like, I made the dress.
Not even that. She just feels like, yeah,
it's not
ew,
good,
gross.
Not
Gross.
expensive enough. Jen Ross says, as someone who worked in a convenience store and paid close attention to these things, if you're caught selling to a minor, you can get fines of thousands of dollars and a ticket for something like illegal dealings with a minor, and the place you were working can lose their license to sell alcohol. I'm not sure what the penalties would be for someone giving their minor relative any alcohol.
Oh,
I don't
see.
think there's that many. J Mac Ultra says, I was on Opie's side until she and her son wouldn't show us the dress or tell us the price.
What?
And then I was against her, or against them.
What? No. It's something nice.
But that is the end of those comments.
These damn comments. Guys, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.
Hey, don't leave yet. We've got some stories that we think you'll enjoy, so stay tuned for the next one.
My best friend is furious I got pregnant during her wedding year because I'm stealing her shine. Trigger warning, Miss. Okay, so let this be known. There is a trigger warning here. Please, if
Proceed
you don't
with
want to
caution.
listen to that, click off. Best friend, 31 female, and I, 31 female, have been best friends for over 12 years, since we were 19 and roommates in college. She lives 1,300 miles away from me, so most of our friendship has been long distance, minus the year that we lived together in college. By the way, this comes from Personality No 2536, and if you want to submit your own stories, just go to the r/OK Storytime subreddits. Come on, put all that venting into the subreddit.
Go vent.
So, my best friend has been there for me through some incredibly difficult times, and I've been there for her as well. She helped me when I was 20 to get out of an abusive home, and a few years ago when I was so severely depressed that I had to go to an inpatient treatment. In turn, I supported her through every breakup, both with friends and partners, her dad nearly passing away of COVID, the loss of her pets, and more. Wow.
So you've been there.
You have been there through it all. To say that we have been there for each other through everything would be an understatement, at least in my eyes. That being said, we are not the same 19-year-old kids we were when we first met. She has done some things that upset me, but I've moved on from them. For example, when I was turning 30, I planned a trip to Disney World to celebrate. Disney is particularly special for both of us with my family. Her birthday is exactly 7 days before mine, and technically, I was flying into Disney World on her birthday, but not going into the park. We had no plans at all to see each other on each other's birthdays. When I told her months prior that I was going to Disney for my 30th, she cried and ghosted me for a couple of days, having a meltdown because she couldn't handle me going to Disney on her birthday while she didn't have the ability to go.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
To fix this, she and her now fiance, then partner, decided to max out a credit card and go themselves. Dang. They went about 6 months before my trip, and that's when they got engaged. At the time, I was super confused and upset. I didn't understand why I couldn't just go to Disney without her freaking out about it. But she went before me, and I didn't care. If that's what she needed to do to process, then whatever.
Yeah.
I left it alone, and we went back to normal. Another situation happened about a year ago when I lost my job. Truthfully, I had life-ending thoughts and negative and trauma dumped on her too much, which strained our friendship, rightfully so. After apologizing and doing therapy work, we got back to normal. I'm not perfect, but I've always tried to be thoughtful and accountable when I've messed up. Thankfully, I've been in a far healthier place mentally for over a year now, and this hasn't been an issue again. Now to the situation at hand. I've been married to my husband for nearly 7 years.
Whoa!
She was my maid of honor.
Woo!
Wow. I have always wanted children, and she has always known this. She, on the other hand, has never wanted children, and that's okay. My husband and I started trying for a baby about a year or two ago, but when I lost my job, we put it on hold. Once I got a new job and we were financially stable again, we decided to go off birth control and start trying in October 2024. She knew this. I also live in a state where pregnancy termination is completely illegal, and she does not. My husband and I have always wanted 2 kids, though we'd be okay if one pregnancy was too difficult for me. Of course, I know women have children past 35, but the risks increase. Being in a state where I wouldn't have access to a medically necessary pregnancy termination, we didn't want to try for children past 35 if we could help it. So we decided to start now since I'm already 31. Meanwhile, my best friend has been engaged for almost 2 years. By the time they get married this year, it will have been 2.5 years. I am and was her maid of honor, just as she was for mine. On January 2nd, I found out I was pregnant, and my husband and I were so happy. Congratulations! Woo! I told my sister first, and then I told my best friend because I figured that if the worst happened, she and my sister would be the ones there for me. When she answered the phone, the first thing that she said was, "So when are you due?" And immediately started talking about her wedding, asking if I'd still be pregnant by then. My due date was about 6 weeks before her wedding. I could tell instantly that she was upset that I was pregnant. I have a lot of trauma in my life, and I tend to cope by people pleasing. I could tell she was upset, so I started placating her, saying I knew that the timing wasn't ideal and that I didn't want a baby in September either because there were already so many birthdays in my family that month, and basically tried to convince her that it would be okay. I even asked her if she was mad at me because I knew she was. After that phone call, she ghosted me for 4 days, barely replying to my texts, only giving short responses. Finally, after 4 days, she told me to call her so that we could talk. That call lasted about an hour and a half, where I basically coddled her and reassured her that I did not plan to miss her wedding and that this didn't change anything. The only difference would be that I'd have to wear postpartum diapers under my dress. We aren't drinkers, so her bachelorette party was never going to be some wild Vegas rager. I didn't see how my pregnancy and then having a newborn by her wedding would impact anything. My husband and I have a strong family support system, so we knew we could have family watch the baby or even fly up there with the baby so I could be there for my best friend on her big day. I had to practically beg her to understand that I wasn't abandoning her and even apologized for adding a wrench into her wedding plans.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's not a wrench. You are living, your life does not stop because she's getting married.
The next day, on the literal anniversary of our friendship, she texted me saying that she wanted another follow-up call. Apparently, she was okay now, but her fiance just couldn't handle this, and she wanted me to talk him down the way I had with her. What? Now he can't handle it? What's wrong with these people? I didn't want to do this. Her whole reaction had already been difficult and stressful, and I didn't want to spend another hour and a half coddling her fiance. While I'm friends with him, he's not my best friend. So I basically said, I'm not sure what I can say to him that I haven't already said to you. She then told me that she didn't feel like my husband and I considered her wedding being in 10 months when we decided to go for it, and that I wasn't being realistic with her about being able to be at her wedding.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Who would consider your wedding that's 10 months away?
Yeah.
Again, the world doesn't revolve around you.
No, not at all. So crazy. She said that 2025 is a big year and that people automatically think that a pregnancy is more important than a wedding, and she didn't want people to only focus on me and not her. Basically, 2025 is supposed to be her year, and now that I'm pregnant, that makes this year not all about her and somehow puts her wedding in jeopardy. Girl, I truly do not understand this, as we don't share friend and family groups, and I would never expect her to pause her life the year I have a major life event. So it really upset me that she basically expected me to put my life on pause for a year so only she and her fiance could have 2025.
Also, like, what is
It's
OP
wild.
supposed to do?
Yeah.
Put the baby back?
Yeah, she's like, oh, sorry, I'll pause really quick. Pause for a year.
Pause. Thank you. Sorry.
I told her this in my reply, that her reaction had made me regret telling her about the pregnancy and honestly getting pregnant in the first place. I also told her that I live in a state where it's dangerous to be a woman and it's not fair to expect me to put my life on pause for her wedding. I explained that best friends share life events all the time, especially in their 30s. They get married, have kids, change jobs, move, get divorced, etc., all at the same time, and it doesn't negate or take away from each other. It's okay to celebrate each other this year.
And how lovely would it have been for her to be supportive and be like, oh my God, I'm going to be like an
Yeah.
auntie, basically.
Yeah. Doesn't take away each other's shine. She told me that she needed to process this and couldn't respond yet. I said that that's okay. Give it some time and I'll be there. 2 days later, oh my gosh. This was one of the worst effing experiences of my life, and I'm still not over it. I cry thinking about the baby I lost and the fear that I'll never have a baby or a family in the future, even 2 weeks later. It's a wound I'm sure I'll always carry around. I texted her at 4 a.m. when I was missing, telling her I was pretty sure that was what was happening, but that I didn't want to talk about it. Really, I didn't want to talk about it with her after her response to the news in the first place. I didn't trust talking to her about it or what she would say. Yeah, she would probably just be like,
She'd be like, oh, sorry, now you're
no."
bringing this up. You're making more drama.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Or she'd just be like, oh no, I'm so sorry. But then secretly she'd be like, okay, well at least
Yeah,
it's gonna
just
be
like
my
psycho
year.
behavior.
Yeah, no, that would be insane. I probably shouldn't have even said anything, to be honest, but I was bleeding heavily in the bathroom in the middle of the night, and I texted my best friend to let her know. She didn't text me back until 2:30 p.m. the next day and sent what felt like a pretty generic message, basically saying, I didn't know what to say. If you think this is happening, then I'm sorry. I didn't respond.
If your best friend says, hey, I just had a miscarriage,
Yeah.
call them.
Yeah.
I would be over at there. I would say, oh my God, are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about it. I'll just be there.
Just be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't live close, then I'll call.
Yeah.
But a text? Come on.
Oh my gosh. And this short of a text
Yeah.
too? I didn't respond. I didn't respond to most people that day. I was actively bleeding, crying, and scared for myself, my baby, and my health. She never checked in again.
Ridiculous.
She didn't send me a text later to see if I was okay, how I was doing, if it was confirmed, if my husband, who was also her friend, was okay. Nothing. Just the one generic, if that's what's happening, then I'm sorry. And that was it. 3 days later, I went to the OB who did an ultrasound and confirmed that I had lost the baby.
Oh.
I shared on my socials that I went through a miscarriage. Oh, wow. I've always, for 10 years, shared on my social media when I'm not okay. When I went through treatment, I shared. I've always shared. It wasn't for her and wasn't about her. It was about me, being honest about what happened and showing that it's not something to be ashamed of. She saw my post. You can see who's viewed your stories, but again, no texts, no calls, nothing to check in on me. Now to today. It's been over 2 weeks and hasn't said a word to me at all. We went from talking literally every single day for 12 years to her ghosting me completely for 2 weeks while I was actively going through the worst thing in my life. Today, I sent a text basically saying, hey, I don't know what's going on, but you're not saying anything for 2 weeks has been upsetting me. I gave you time to figure out a response and I'm confused why it's taken this long, but I'll be here when you're ready. By the way, we will always be here when you are ready to listen to full episodes with more stories, just like this one. Just go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. We'd be there for you.
It's true.
Then I got these texts. So yes, I did. This is from the friend, by the way. So yes, I did need time to process the last thing you said to me. You said you felt like you were made to feel regret about being pregnant and regretted ever telling me, but you didn't express any of this until the day I said blank wanted to talk about all of it with you directly, because it does affect him too. It's his wedding year too.
Oh my God.
This is like the
You don't
girls
get
that
the
say
whole-
like,
you don't get a whole wedding year.
yeah, this is like when girls say like their
Like my
birthday
birthday
week
month?
or birthday month. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like other people were born then.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
This is crazy. These are really long texts, by the way. These are like paragraphs. There's like 3 giant paragraphs. Screen full of text.
Like berating OP after a miscarriage again.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
insane.
No, that's wild.
Wild behavior, to be sure.
Yeah. But let's see. She continues. So you were fine until being confronted with reality. Oh my God. I want to throw up all over this friend.
She keeps getting worse.
The person who is supposed to be my best friend just instead chose to blame me and my partner for her own feelings about her own pregnancy, which is absolutely not my responsibility to manage.
Well, it's not my responsibility to manage your freaking wedding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that goes both ways, girly.
Absolutely. You said something like, it's not on me to make him okay with this. And in the same breath, you said you were made to feel bad about your own pregnancy when you should feel joy. How is that our responsibility? But just having a realistic conversation as adults was just asking way too much from you. None of it makes any sense, and it doesn't matter what I say. The responsibility will never fall on you, and I will always come out as the bad guy. Because that's just how it is when you make a decision that ultimately hurts me. And I just push it down and swallow it because it's not worth the cost. But I just can't swallow it this time. And then you sent me, don't feel comfortable talking about it and feel very effing alone and sad right now. So I let you know that I really did feel bad about what was happening, but you never replied and didn't want to talk to me about it. Fine. But then you posted on socials several times about it instead. And now you're disappointed and upset and confused that you haven't heard from me? It's incredibly childish, and I don't want any part in that. Oh my God. We're only halfway through. This is insane. This is insane. Giving this whole conversation, like, if that first text about the wedding stuff was just sent after the wedding stuff happened, that would be, like, still crazy, but, like, a whole other thing.
Yeah, but this is after, oh my God.
Yeah, the fact that she's still making this an issue after this terrible thing, it's like, oh my goodness. But she continues. This whole thing has been blown out of proportion when all I wanted from the start was for you to acknowledge reality instead of the delusional fantasy that nothing would change and that everything will be fine and that nothing will stop me from being there. Not willing to discuss any backup plans, not willing to discuss the reality, but just gaslighting our concerns to oblivion. No one in their right mind who has actually given birth would make promises like that. Girl. Oh no. Oh gosh. Oh man.
Also just doubly cruel
Yeah.
to say to someone who just lost a baby.
Yeah.
To say, oh, who's actually given birth.
Yeah. Dude.
Doubly really
Just
cruel.
So incredibly insensitive. But you shut that down with blind optimism and never actually listened to the real issues. You just made it about you and the fact that you were pregnant and it was allegedly my fault you were so upset. You've been trying to manipulate how I feel by love bombing me and telling me that you're hurt and by begging me to not be mad when you first told me your test was positive, so that automatically I'm the bad guy for being upset no matter what. It's bonkers, actually. But it's not even worth talking about anymore because no matter what I say, you always end up the victim. Anytime you make a choice that hurts me, because yes, you've done it several times over the years, you always have some convenient justifications for it, and it gets flipped to me because, or being the problem for being upset, and you're the one who's being hurt. So yeah, I'm tired and I'm done.
The second that
And
you
that's
get
the end
into
of it.
this amount of texts,
Yeah.
you're the bad guy.
Yeah, honestly.
Making me read that much,
Yeah.
you're the bad guy.
Yeah. And that last part about like you always have some sort of convenient excuse or justification. When she literally had a miscarriage. My girl. Oh, so convenient.
Just terrible friend.
So
Terrible
terrible.
friend.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So now I'm just so effing confused. I don't know what she means when she says I've manipulated her, that I've love bombed her by coddling her about my pregnancy to get her to calm the F down, or that I'm always the victim and she's the bad guy. I'm truly so confused and mad. Am I manipulating? Was I wrong for getting pregnant in the first place? Should I have kept this a secret? No. Spoiler alert, no. Not at all. Not at all. I really don't know what I did wrong, and I feel like I need some third-party voices to help me see the truth. So am I the a-hole? And someone commented, not the a-hole. She's not your friend. Friends don't treat each other this way. A true friend would be happy for you being pregnant. All she cares about is herself. I suggest not going to her wedding and cutting her and her toxic husband off for good. Quit trying to please her, grow a spine, and stand up for yourself. Don't allow people to treat you this way. And then someone replied to that, I wonder if the husband was as upset as Bridezilla made him out to be. I really can't imagine many guys that would care one way or the other. But I'd cut both of them loose. People change a lot in 12 years. So true. OP has grown while her friend hasn't been able to get beyond middle school mentally. Someone else responds, right, the ex-friend and boyfriend are like, she didn't stop to think about us when she was having unprotected spicy sleep with her husband? OP responds to that, unfortunately, that is exactly what she said. When I was on that hour and a half long phone call, she said that she and her fiance were literally talking about, quote, why did he have to finish, I guess, inside you during December?
Come on.
Or something like that. I don't remember how she worded it, but it stunned me so much when she said it. I was taken aback by her saying that and should have stopped it right there, but continued to try to be empathetic and calm her anxiety. But yes, they literally discussed with each other that they were mad that two married adults had unprotected spicy sleep 11 months before their wedding, then told me while crying that they said that, and I continued to try to be empathetic. I see as I write these things that I've been unfair to myself. I made myself small to calm someone down and appease them over something that wasn't wrong of me to do in the first place. I hear what you were all saying, and I appreciate all the responses. And that is it.
Our friendship ended over Chinese food.
Sounds about right. Sounds pretty justified.
Okay, so I know the title sounds ridiculous, but hear me out. For background, I, 28 female, recently graduated college. I've always been kind of socially awkward, and being an older student, I found it hard to make friends. But I decided to really make more of an effort in my senior year. By the way, this comes from Little Missy, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, I met a girl. Let's call her Wi-Fi. Sure.
Cool.
23 female through a friend, and we hit it off. We ended up forming a little friend circle with about 8 people. We often hung out one-on-one or in smaller groups as well. She was really nice, fun, and very bubbly. I enjoyed her company a lot and thought highly of her. I'm an introvert by nature, and while I enjoy people, I generally do so in short bursts. Fair. Then I need to recharge with lots of alone time. At the beginning of our last quarter, we were on a 10-week quarter system. She told me she was struggling because she's extremely extroverted and most of our group were introverts. She said it was hard to get them to go out often and the loneliness was really affecting her. By this time, I had grown to really care about her. I also wanted to put more effort into building friendships, so I decided to go all in on supporting her. This meant we went from hanging out maybe once a week to 3 times a week.
Wow.
I also tried to help support her more in our group chat, helping her plan and encourage people to come to events. These meetups could be anything from nights out at bars to study sessions, brunches, or even crochet nights. I honestly enjoyed spending time with her and the group, but it was also a lot for me to handle, especially with my school commitments and the different clubs I was on the boards for. Still, I felt like it was important, so I kept at it, figuring I'd have plenty of alone time once I moved home after graduation. I thought I should put my energy into making memories and relationships, even if it was tiring at times. Some other important context, while we got along really well, like any relationship, we also had our spats. I felt they were relatively minor, and we talked them out well. One disagreement we had was about how she acted at bars. She's super extroverted and very pretty, so whenever we went out, she drew a lot of attention. She would bounce all around the room, striking up conversations with everyone, flirting with some guys, chatting with others, making new girlfriends, and just generally being very bubbly and gregarious. I honestly really admired this about her. Like I said, I'm introverted and tend to be overly reserved around people, So I admired how naturally she connected with others and how easily she talked to strangers. When I complimented her on this, later she told me she felt insulted. That's like, what? She said I made her sound like a sloot in front of her guy friends. Dude,
What did I say?
Come
What
on,
did I say?
why are you taking it like that? She told me she didn't appreciate me mentioning her talking to guys or how bubbly and friendly she was because she felt it painted her as a bimbo when she was trying really hard to be seen as smart and educated. That's on you, girl. That's on you. Why are you taking it this way?
Yeah.
I apologized and told her that I had not intended any insult or put down. I genuinely admired her. I also told her I thought she was both extremely intelligent and extremely bubbly, and I didn't see them as mutually exclusive. Yeah, you can be like friendly and also intelligent.
Absolutely.
I told her I thought she was brilliant, sociable, and chatty, and that I hadn't meant to embarrass her. But I acknowledged how she felt, apologized for anything I had said that upset her, and agreed not to talk about her with the guys. She also apologized for misunderstanding me and said she was a little self-conscious about it. Okay. At least she apologized. At least she's aware of it.
Yeah.
I thought that was the end of it. I'm guessing it was not.
Oh no.
I was really happy we were able to have such a good conversation and work through it because I thought it meant we had a healthy relationship. Another disagreement we had was over how she dressed. Like I said, she's really pretty. And whenever we went out, she would wear outfits that accentuated that. Crop tops, mini dresses, etc. And she always looked amazing. To be clear, I am a girl's girl. I think women should dress and act however it makes them feel their best, because that's just obvious. But she would go out, get a lot of attention, talk with people, exchange numbers, etc., and then start complaining about how uncomfortable it was to be looked at all the time. She would say she wished we could go out for once with just us girls and be left alone, and that it really upset her. So I told her that if it really bothered her that much, then she had the option of dressing more conservatively or in baggier clothes to try to avoid attention. She got really pissed and asked if I was slut shaming her. I told her I wasn't. I thought she looked really pretty. But if being looked at upset her as much as she was saying, she had at least had the option to try and avoid it. Though I knew there was no way to completely avoid being looked at or guarantee being left alone, but it was worth a try.
Yeah.
She got upset and said she should be able to walk around unclothed and not be stared at, and that I was slut shaming her and saying she was asking for attention. I agreed that women should be able to wear whatever they want without being ogled, but I also pointed out that this was the world we lived in right now. I told her I didn't like seeing her this upset and was just trying to offer alternative solutions to help her feel better. But ultimately, she should wear whatever she wants, and I was sorry if I came across as judgy. I had really just wanted to help her stop being upset. She accepted my apology, and we just kind of dropped it. I didn't really appreciate her accusing me of slut shaming her, but I also know I can be kind of old-fashioned in my ideas. So I just chalked it up to a difference in opinion/background.
Yeah.
So moving on to graduation, we were meeting up literally every day because she was worried about the group breaking up and being lonely during the summer. She wanted to make memories, but it was honestly a lot, especially since it was also during finals week. Ooh. I just felt like this was the final stretch and I needed to tough it out for a few days. Then I'd be at home on my mom's sofa with more alone time than I knew what to do with, so I went with it. However, I was admittedly tired and kind of at the end of my emotional tether. Girl, you need to learn how to say no. I think that's the moral of the story. You need to learn how to say no.
It's a skill.
I just can't go out.
It's a skill.
She and I went out for Chinese food with 2 other people from our group. Some other friends of mine were meeting up with us later for the end of dinner, and some drinks at the bar next door afterward. When we sat down and were looking at the menu, Wi-Fi said something about wanting the pork fried rice. I commented that we should get the vegetable rice since our friend was vegetarian. She gave me a weird look and asked why her friend being vegetarian meant she couldn't eat pork. I clarified saying that it didn't, but since we were sharing the staples like rice or noodles, they should be vegetarian so everyone could eat them. Then we could also get 1 or 2 meat dishes as well. She asked why I assumed she was sharing, and I pointed out that it was a sharing menu. I don't know how to explain this, but it was one of those places where you order large plates for the table and everyone shares. There were no individual mixed plate options. Anyway, she said she'd never done that before and how she'd never shared her meal at a restaurant or something. Most Chinese places I've been to are like this. I mean, that's how I usually do them.
Yeah.
Which our other friends agreed with, but she just said she thought it was weird. I figured it was a cultural difference and she was from a different country. I thought it was just a new thing for her. She and our friend went to scope at the bar while our other friend, let's call him Lee for convenience, and I stayed behind to wait for our food. Wi-Fi had ordered the chicken, which arrived first. Lee immediately served himself some. I was hesitant since she'd been so weird about it, but Lee seemed very nonchalant. So I figured I was just overthinking with my social awkwardness and played it some as well. I think you should have kept overthinking that. I mean, she did specifically state, she was like, why would I share?
Yeah.
Like, that was a little bit weird. I don't know. I have like mixed feelings. So I'm like, that was a little bit weird of a reaction because usually when you go to like Chinese restaurants, or even I would say like sometimes when you go to Indian restaurants, a lot of different places, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like sharing things, like things that you like. If you have rice dishes, you'll,
right,
share curries and stuff.
Get one and then share it with everyone.
Yeah. But so that was like a little bit different. But her specifically stating, "Hey, I don't want to share," and then you guys then eating her food.
Yeah, that's
little
a
bit weird.
little awkward there.
Lee also took a sip of her soda when it arrived and offered me a sip, which I thought was weird.
That is weird.
That's much weirder.
That is very
I don't
weird.
just steal people's sodas without asking, or
Yeah.
like drinks without asking.
I feel like a drink is like
Drink is different.
much different than
Drink is
just
different.
food. Yeah.
However, Wi-Fi and I had shared drinks on numerous occasions before. Okay, so I thought maybe it was more normal than I realized and agreed to have a sip as well. Girl, come on. I honestly did think it was kind of weird, but also I'm introverted and socially anxious, so I also don't trust my own sense of judgment on these things. A few minutes later, they came back, and by that point, we had a plate full of food. I told her the chicken was crazy spicy. She kind of froze and asked if I'd eaten some. Lee said we had and mentioned that her soda was super good, though, and that he liked the spice. Okay, you know what? Lee and OP are in the wrong. Lee and OP are in the wrong. She kind of laughed and said, really? Or something before drinking some herself. However, for the rest of the night, she would not speak to me. She talked to Lee. Okay, that's weird. And even my other friends when they arrived, but wouldn't even look at me at all. It really hurt my feelings. I was the only one graduating, and this was supposed to be a dinner to celebrate, but now my friend was pretending like I didn't exist. This continued even at the bar, and I just kind of disassociated since I was so hurt and overwhelmed. My other friends checked in on me a few times, but I just said I was fine and stayed silent otherwise because I didn't even know how to explain it or what went so wrong. It also didn't help that I was the designated driver and had to take everyone home while they all talked around me. By the time I got home, she had sent me a long text. She said that she felt violated by me and that me eating the chicken after she said she wasn't okay with it was a clear power move. She felt I was trying to humiliate her or show off or something, and the fact that I hadn't immediately apologized proved it was intentional. She said that Lee was one thing, but she thought better of me. Okay, it feels dramatic.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree.
Yeah.
But I also don't disagree. You know? I was honestly baffled. She had said she thought it was weird, but I thought she meant weird as in something she hadn't done before, didn't realize, not as her setting a boundary.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can see why she'd be upset about the food thing because I had clearly misread the situation and upset her, and that was wrong of me 100%. However, I was also super hurt that she ignored me at my graduation dinner instead of pulling me aside or talking to me later. That's fair. I think the mature thing would have been for her to be like, hey, like I just asked you not to eat it. Why did you do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of ignoring you. All of this power move, humiliation stuff felt like it came out of nowhere. I felt so insulted by that. I waited until morning to reply so I could calm down a bit. I apologized for crossing her boundary, but told her I was honestly kind of devastated that after all the time we spent together, she thought I was the kind of person who'd pull power moves or try to intentionally humiliate her. It felt like she didn't know me at all if she thought of me like that. We were supposed to do a friends brunch and maybe a potluck, but I told her I wouldn't be doing either as I wanted some time to process. She texted me back, upset that I was letting this ruin the time we had left together, and insisted that she had been super clear, so it couldn't have been a miscommunication. There was a lot more back and forth, but that was the gist of it. It's also kind of important to note that most of this text exchange was happening while I was backstage, waiting to walk for an award at my graduation. Yikes.
Wow.
Until I just turned my phone off for a while. I ultimately asked her not to text or call me for a while because I'm not good with emotions and wanted time to really think things through. She ended up texting me about once a month through the summer, but I never replied. At the end of summer, I reached out and let her know that I just didn't think we could be friends anymore because she doubted my character as a person. She chose to pick a text fight with me during my graduation ceremony, which I felt was very inconsiderate. Although it had been a few months, I still just felt really hurt and didn't see a way for me to get past this or let it go. I wished her the best, thanked her for being my friend during school, and wished her a good final year and graduation. She replied and said she thought my ceremony was in the afternoon, not the morning, and she'd wanted to settle things quickly before I left, so the timing was an accident. By the way, it would never be an accident to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search up OK Storytime. She said she felt mistreated and hurt, and that it wasn't just about the chicken. She claimed I repeatedly put her down and done some seriously mean girl things to her. She said then how hurt she was that I didn't want to be friends and felt I was abandoning her and that it was unfair. She said she'd wait in case I changed my mind and wanted to be friends again. So it's been a while, but this still bothers me sometimes. I posted this here because I genuinely like to know, was I being a mean girl? Was I too quick to walk away? And I humbly ask you, unbiased strangers, for your opinion and will answer any questions. Thanks. Also, sorry it was long. There was a lot, and I didn't realize. But that is the end of that story.
Wowza.